Hey, everybody, there's a real reason the Chicago Bears looked awful against the Texans. And here's the thing. Is it feeling like the Bears we are used to seeing? I mean, defense and special teams absolutely balling out while the offense is undependable. I'm going to go through this, but I'm also going to say something. Week 2 is not the time to panic. The Bears show that the defense is able to go toe to toe with anyone in the league. This was a game that they were predicted to not even be competitive in. We should still be excited for this season, but we also got to be realistic. And this offensive line. This offensive line was just not impressive. In fact, it was terrible. Definitely didn't pass the eye test, but tight end Cole Kmet, he seems to think otherwise, and I'm just going to let him say it, and then we'll chop it up. And this is talking about the Texans' blitz heavy approach and the blueprint the Bears will have to show that they can solve. So this is from Cole. I know, obviously, with Caleb being a rookie, they're going to test him to see what he knows protection wise. Like coaches saying protection's not. I know everyone just wants to look at the offensive line. You see a sack and maybe you feel like it's on the offensive line, but there's a lot of things that go into it. Whether it's receivers having to run the right routes, if they're not there, that causes the quarterback to hold the ball a little more. Speaking personally, we saw that with some DJ Moore patterns leading to sacks. There's protection adjustments. You see pressure and have to adjust off the pressure you see and maybe making a slide different here and there and getting the linemen to the right spots in that regard. Or whether it's a miscommunication up front as to what play we're running. Well, that shouldn't happen. There's a lot to go into it. I don't think it's necessarily a talent issue necessarily up front. I don't think we are necessarily getting overmatched totally physically up front. I'll talk about that. But I think us getting on the same page, mentally speaking, that can lead to those adjustments. And we can kind of see those sacks come down a little bit. I mean, that's all well and good. I mean, maybe he's right. I don't think there's a huge talent deficit on this offensive line. I mean, I've watched some tape. I've looked at some highlights. There's multiple plays by Nate Davis that frankly just look to be low effort. Straight up missing the blocking assignment, not even following up the mistake with hustle. Coleman Shelton, he continued to miss assignments as well. And not to mention, you guys, it's all over Twitter. There's an absolute pancake snap from Danielle Hunter, that rookie quarterback Caleb Williams. He just had to absorb. And guess what? Right tackle Darnell Wright. This guy's supposed to be a leader on this team. You definitely see a lackadaisical approach and effort and body language. It's just not acceptable. There is no reason for low effort. This defense stood up time and time again against a premier offense, and especially from those two players in this game, you can see multiple plays that even if you just go by the body language, it is low effort. And then not to mention, right, he had multiple false start penalties as a team. And this is how you know your offensive line is well offensive. The Bears had 4 false starts. I'm going to go to the story on WindyCityGridiron.com. You guys know this is a gold standard, so give this story your eyes. But you're looking at, as a team, 4 false starts, a delay a game right after a television timeout. Seriously, right after a TV timeout. They failed to convert a 3rd and 1 with a quarterback sneak. Barely converted a 4th and inches with a run out of the shotgun. I mean, to just look at the tape in a vacuum, the poor effort, it seems to be there on part of at least 2, maybe even 3 offensive linemen. And it's a game that the Bears are predicted to get blown out, but I'm telling you, this was a very winnable game. And even looking in the first half, especially these false start penalties, you saw the offense getting into some rhythm, starting to get some plays linked together, and a false start penalty making a 3rd and 3 into a 3rd and 8. It's just a drive killer with a rookie quarterback. But I'm going to close this down. You guys check out that story in its entirety. But let's look back. I mean, Cole Kmet might know better than us. If you follow what he's saying, if that's the case, Shouldn't the starters been playing even more during the preseason to get this stuff figured out? I mean, there's an idea. I don't think with a rookie quarterback, and if this offense isn't linked together to the point that Cole Kmet saying that maybe the play isn't even communicated properly, that players aren't sure where to slide over in coverage, maybe part of the answer is that they should have played more in the preseason. And you got Williams getting sacked 7 times, hit 11 times, pressured 36 times. Let's just go to straight up dropbacks. Pressured on 23 of 48 dropbacks. This line clearly couldn't handle much. There's video evidence that the effort was low, and unfortunately, the time to fix this is long past. I think this is what we're stuck with for 15 more games. And D'Amico Ryans, he essentially ran a water boy defense. He blitzed on 41% of snaps. And frankly, the Bears just had zero answer for it. So just to wrap up this part, the offense, it was supposed to take flight, right? We knew there would be bumps, but man, 2 games and the offense has only had 1 touchdown with just a ton of misassignments, ton of penalties, ton of mental errors. And don't get me started on the silly challenges that were unsuccessful. One of the challenges, you can see Flus standing right in front of it. It was obviously a play that he should not have challenged, and he did it anyways. But I don't know. I'm not going to quibble about that. But offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, he's got to get this cleaned up. But I get it. It's a tough job. He's got to develop a quarterback ball trying to win with a win now roster. And this is also on the heels of seeing another offensive coordinator that came in for an interview, Clint Kubiak. He just has the New Orleans Saints putting up points in a historic fashion. It's not apples to apples, fully different team situation, but still, it might be time. Bates is not coming back for a few weeks. I don't care how much money Nate Davis is making. It might be time to maybe give Matt Pryor or even Bill Murray reps at right guard. Man, weapons surround Caleb Williams, but if this line does not get it together, this team is sunk. And we can't have Caleb getting hits constantly, getting shell-shocked, developing bad habits. But I'm not really going to pile on with on offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. I mean, it's impossible to get an offensive rhythm when linemen are pretty much missing assignments, allowing defensive players to come straight through virtually untouched, but still, 2 weeks and the offense doesn't have an identity, and that falls to Waldron. And Waldron was touted as being ultra flexible, adaptive coming into Chicago. I'm still willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, he's not automatically a bad coach because we've had these 2 weeks and we grinded out the first game, but whatever's happening, DJ Moore and Caleb Williams not on the same page on multiple plays. And let's just leave it here for now. We've got the Colts coming next time. This is a very good get-right game. The Colts have shown that they can be run on big time. Josh Jacobs just put up 150 yards on the ground this last week in a Packers win. Richardson, he's also a guy that can be forced into turnovers, and that should have our defensive players just licking their chops. And this Houston game, it was never predicted to be a win when I was looking at the season for the year. I listed this game as a loss. It's an easy slate of games that are coming up. The Bears will get some breathing room to dial these things in. I, for one, am still going to be optimistic. I don't think this team is sunk. I just want to know what's going on with the offensive line with the lackadaisical play. Hopefully these coaches can get things in line, get everybody on the same page, and we won't be talking about the same thing after the Colts game. And man, you guys know I love to be optimistic and positive, but man, this offensive line was offensive. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Bear down. Hey, it was still an enjoyable game. We didn't get it done. I'm looking forward to the Colts, and you should too. I'll talk to you guys soon, and talk to you in the comments. See ya.